All that malarkey, you want me? Yeah, no worries, Dark. Take it easy. Take care, my friend. Yeah, yeah, I've had enough. So, streamed for more than long enough. Plus, I've got to bring me fucking mother back. Last thing I need is her on my ass moaning. Yeah. All right. All right, brother. Yeah, I will be. All right, mate.
Am I live? I think I am live. Yeah. There we go. There we go. So today we are unwrapping Pantheon's amazing steampunk motorbike, which is pretty awesome. Well, I'm not getting any. Okay, Twitch is not showing anything. I mean, it's... Ah! Thank you, Mr. Pantheon, for the raid. It didn't seem to think that I was actually online, but I think it is. Thank you very much. I was enjoying your stream as always. Welcome, Raiders. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to more Pantheon builds. And I'm doing a job that he absolutely hates, which is unwrapping. And this is how much I've got left. So I'm slowly but surely working my way through this. I think Twitch is playing up a little bit, but yeah, I'm also getting higher. Mr. Tyro, how are you? Welcome back. Oh, okay. Oh, is that what it's doing? Okay. Yeah, it's a bit. Sometimes it's a bit aggressive with that, isn't it? I don't know. I don't think that's something that I can control. Unfortunately, I don't think so. Hmm. Oh, okay. Now it's coming up saying that I'm now live. That's really funny. Okay, it's doing some weird stuff. Anyway, welcome everyone. So I'm just working my way through Pantheon's amazing steampunk motorbike or steampunk bike. Two minutes of adverts, crikey! Wow. Yeah, I don't think I've got any control over that somehow. I don't see anything on here. My ads are not. It's okay. So in my ads manager thing, it says how many, but my ads are not enabled. So Yeah, it's not even enabled. Anyway, right. So I need to get back to here. On phone, getting food. No problem. No problem. All good. Yeah. This is the bike. I mean, basically, as I'm going along, I'm hiding the bits that I don't need to work on. So let me see if I can get. I don't know whether we got a picture of this whole bike somewhere, because he finished it today. So he finished the bike and then handed it to me to unwrap it. See whether there is more. There we go. Okay, so this is obviously the bike. So I've just sort of started one end and then the other end, and then just working on sort of the main body of the bike now, really. And this is how much I've got left. Yeah. Business day Amazon, making some money. Oh, right, okay. Yes, come on. So what you don't mind me asking, what do you do on do you sell stuff on Amazon? I noticed there's like a whole marketing thing now on, you can almost become a reseller or something on Amazon. I've seen quite a few people do that, actually. Yeah, so he wants the bike back. It's in the workshop at the moment. He wants it back as soon as possible so he can work his magic on what's happening here. Oh, okay. La, la, la. Oh, right, okay. Oh, right, okay. Oh, that's how they do it, is it? Everything's adverts now, though, isn't it? This is why I come away from all these social media platforms, because they just become. I mean, Twitch is kind of bearable, but I guess in a way we get used to it. But yeah, it's just the way things are now, though, isn't it? I mean, it's everything is adverts. Yeah. Well, they want to know what people are watching. They want to know what they're searching for. It's just the way that they seem to do stuff now. It's like they seem to assume now that if you're going to be on the internet, that your information is freely available for marketing purposes. And yeah. Okay, let's unwrap that again. We got something going a bit skew-if, and I can't figure out what that is. Yeah, well, they track everything, don't they? I mean, they always have done. It's just that they now just use it against you almost. You have to be. I mean, I had someone this morning actually telling me that they searched for something. I can't remember. It was something to do with Spurs, the football. And he said he just, because he's recently got a new machine, And he said now he just keeps getting adverts, anything to do with Spurs. And he said no other football clubs, just Spurs. He said, you know, it's quite frightening, really. They literally monitor everything you do. They want to know what you're buying, how long you're viewing stuff, how long you're, you know, yeah. So that's going all the way around there. Okay. And we've grabbed that. There we go. It wasn't marking it as a seam. That's why. Duh. Why? There we go. Yeah. I just always think it's kind of clever the way they can do it, but it's also, you know, it also feels really intrusive. I must confuse the hell out of these search engines because I don't get. I mean, I take the time and effort. Yeah, it's a bit scary. I would agree, but I take the time and effort to disable all this stuff. I mean, I've pretty much now come completely away from Facebook. I never ever liked Facebook, but yeah, I mean it is, Facebook is even more scary. Of course, they were one of the very first back in the day to sort of abuse using your information. Cool, nice clean UVs. There we go. Now this is going to be difficult to do because yeah, I was saying I must confuse the hell out of these search engines because I not only cover my tracks, I also disable an awful lot of the tracking cookies, and yeah. So and I noticed that when it makes suggestions, it'll make really random suggestions. So it doesn't actually really know what I'm searching for, which is and I also use very secure browsers as well. So they do an awful lot of you know, the cleanup. This is what they're looking for. Is people don't realize it's all the cookies on your machine. So if you've got years and years of cookie data and history on your machine, if you don't clear it off, they've got access to all of that data. Yeah, you have to be very careful. Google account using a captcha is enough. Yeah. Yep. And of course the other thing is it's subtle, but still confused if I'm in France. That's a good way to keep them. You see, that's a good way of doing it. And I also use VPN as well, so that even confuses them even more. Yeah, it's a good thing to do. See, I want to know, how can I highlight that and that? No, I can't highlight that and that. Doesn't want to know. Don't know. It's odd. Now let me do that. Oh well. Never mind. Beep, beep, beep. Yeah, you got to play the game. You got to play the game with these search engines. You have to confuse them, and you have to be you mustn't be consistent. They want you to be consistent. They want to see you searching for the same things, browsing for the same things. You know, that's what in a way gives them the edge over your history. You know. Ooh. Oh yeah, I know what it is. It's this. Do that. I do that every time. There we go. Boom. Nope. I think it's because we need this and this. You shouldn't use your browser in full screen because you can pick up the screen size of a person. Really? Wow. So I guess they can from that they can identify whether you're on a phone, a tablet, a laptop, and probably a desktop, I guess. Yeah. It is. There we go, this is it. This is going to be the same as the other one. Cool. I think the other thing, if you're those super wide monitors, Firefox, you're much more unique. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I see what. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You've got a marketing hat on. That's what they're looking for. Yeah. I think the other thing, I know the information can be used for like marketing. Okay, that's the biggest thing, is it? Because they can target markets for products. You know, I mean, that's ultimately that's where the big bucks are made, right? So you know, Amazon, for instance, if you're watching or you're playing certain games or you're watching certain programs or you're watching certain films and stuff like that, then they can target you, you know, that kind of genre of product. So yeah, I can see how they use it, but I think sometimes we sort of think that somebody sitting behind a screen somewhere um, you know, actually sort of snooping your data. And of course the only people that are really interested in that kind of thing are scammers and hackers and stuff. Okay, if we highlight this, come on. Go. But the reality is, marketing people, all they're interested in is just obviously exactly that. They're just interested in, you know, why is some of that hidden? This bit is hidden. What is going on there? Where's the other tube? Okay. That's a pain. I've gone and hidden part of a bit that I hadn't even sorted out yet. Um, yeah, it's a bit of a world. It's a bit of a world with all this whole tracking thing, isn't it? It really is. Okay, let's do that again then. Let's do this again. There. And there. Oh, no. And there. Mark scene. Nope. Conformal. Nope. Oh, right, okay, so it went all the way back to here. Base. Okay. Unwrap. There we go. Okay, that's still okay, that's fine. Right, now we can move on to interesting, it won't let me okay, right. We're there. We need to do this next. Do we have any more? No, we don't. Okay. Very kindly, Pantheon he marks seams as he goes along, which is actually quite a good habit to get into. And it can actually sort out quite a lot of stuff, like this. So... okay, that didn't work. So if we just pack you in, there we go. Nice. Nice UVs. These straps are not part of this model. No, they're not. Okay. So they're not, are they part of each other? Probably don't actually need to do anything with them, because they're so small. Wow. La, la, la. Yeah, it is. It is a good habit. It's a good habit to do your cutting as you go along, because it makes it easier in the long run. It makes it much easier to do the unwrapping. There we go. See these very, very small. What is that? Ooh, okay. Okay, part of the buckle, I think. Right. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I've obviously over the years I've just got into a habit of calling everything giving everything a name. But that's why I'm hiding this, because I'm hiding it as I go along, because it's all parented as well, so but then I can kind of keep track of what I'm doing then. And then Pantheon will have some nice UVs to work with. Cool. Yeah, I use collections a lot as well. So I use namings, I use collections a lot, and then I split things up. And where needed, I use vertex groups, stuff like that. Vertex groups are good as well. See, he's already done the cut on this. Oh, keep doing that. You can't do that when it's parented. Conform. Ooh. You have to do that. Unwrap. Conform. There we go. It's kind of good. Actually, it's probably best to leave it like that because it's kind of bent. And these pipes. These pipes should be relatively easy. Yep. We need a cut on the bend. You have to put a cut on the bend on these. Unwrap, conform. Cool. There we go. See, a lot of these little tiny things. Ooh, these little items. See, can you imagine texturing that? I know the pain. I absolutely know the pain of UV unwrapping, but I also know the pain of trying to, you spend all your time designing a model, like a really nice model, and then you try texturing it with a UV that looks like this. It's just, and you keep, I remember in the early days it was just so frustrating, because you kind of think, well, why does it look, why does it look so bad? It took me a while to realize. It took me a while. If I remember rightly, I think this has already been done. Yeah, it has. Okay. Right, so let's do the main body. Oh, see there, that's an example. See how you've got stacked UVs, you know? And it would have just, you know, it would have just created huge problems. I think the cutting is good. See how it packs. Yeah, that's fine. Ooh, no. Okay, so that's a UV that's stacked up on top of each other, but it's going round. We need to figure out where that is. See that's yeah. Trying to texture that would have been an utter nightmare. If we go here, that's using this map. That's the auto map, massively stacked up on top of each other. I mean, yeah, this a beautiful model, but then this would Mr. Pantheon would have been swearing. He'd have punched the screen if he tried texturing this. His beautiful model would have just, yeah. Okay, so if we're putting a seam on there, so we need to go back to this map. If we mark that as a seam, we need to mark that as a seam. Let's mark those as seams. Right, so this piece, I'm guessing this is all part of the same. Okay, this is not a separate piece. Okay, a separate piece. Let's see what that's going to look like. Why are we getting... Okay, something very confusing there. Okay, we're now working on the body, and this is interesting. Okay. Okay, what UV map is this? Is that the UV... Oh my god, is that the UV map of the body? It is. Okay. I mean, that is more organized for the body work. That is a lot more organized than this. This is just UVs stacked on top of UVs. I mean, this is just grabbed what UVs had been unwrapped already and just threw them on the top. You know, I mean, you can see all the hoses and everything is layering all over the bodywork. Okay, so the body map organized is that, which of course they won't be lying on top of each other. They're all laid out correctly, and that's the difference. So you won't be getting overlays of textures and such like all screwed up and whatever. This will just look really good. So that's certainly a lot better. Okay. I know I've done the seat already. So all we've got left, and I know I've done the back wheel already, and I thought I'd done the exhaust pipes. I may not have done the exhaust pipes. I know I haven't done that bit. And there's the engine. Okay, so I haven't done the exhaust pipes yet. And I must remember, right, because when I unwrapped his Pantheon's Ninja, I forgot to bring everything back into the layout mode. I tend to actually just stick on the modeling, but obviously people use the layout mode, and I'd left his Ninja with just the armband. He was not happy. So I need to bring everything back into view again before I give it back. So let's focus on the exhaust. I think the exhaust will be very easy because it looks like he's cut it up already. I love the shape of the exhaust. Yeah, that's going to be pretty much as it is, isn't it, really? Ooh. There we go. Where are we at now? We've done... Yeah, okay. Right, so exhaust has been done. The main body has been done. All we've got left is these engine parts here, which, to be honest with you, I'm hoping they're separate. Yeah, they're okay. They're separate. This will be very easy then. And then obviously we've got the pistons, whatever that little tiny thing there is. Oh, springs, okay. They more than likely won't need... Oh, they're still curves. Okay, that's fine. Boink. We go back here. This is all we've got left. Cool. Okay. Right, so if we take that... oh, the pipe's part of it as well. Okay, the pipe looks like it's kind of already unwrapped. Let's see... Ooh. There we go. Let's see what we get. Yeah. I don't think that that's going to straighten. Oh, it does. Okay. Wow. Oh, that's going to be the pipe, isn't it? Let's just bring that down there for now. Straighten. Oh, no. I think that's part of the pipe. So how is everybody's Tuesday? No, not Tuesday. What am I talking about? Yeah, no, it is Tuesday. Yeah. I don't know. I've lost track of days, to be honest. I seem to just live in the Blender world, and I've literally, you know, I've literally just lost track of days. It's just bizarre. All I've done is modeling. Yeah, that's fine. And yeah, I feel like I live in Blender at the moment. What's that? Don't know what that is. Oh, okay. So all we've got left is this. Probably gonna find that yeah, I mean it's a cogwheel, and at least this is now laid out in some see it's kind of best really to get both faces to look like this island here. I don't think I can. No, I can't. I can't do multiples. I wish I could play music. I don't mind the bird song, but it's... I could do with some concentration music. Like really loud piano music would be good right now. Just to wind Mr. Pantheon up. No, there is a piece of piano music that I think would actually convince him. I mean, it's a rare piece of piano music. Unfortunately, I can't play it because I'll get a strike. But it's such a shame. There's another problem, right? The music industry. Oh, I could talk about the music industry. There is another problem. Why would you limit people playing your music on social media? Like, surely isn't that... You know, most of the music that I ever bought in my life is because I heard it somewhere else and I liked it. And I went out and bought it. I know not everyone is like that, but... You know, even so... Oh my god, what on earth is that? Oh. Alright. Ah, okay. No, it's got a cut through there. Hey? Oh, I know why. This. That would help, but it's an awful lot of seams, but it would at least tidy up the UVs. Yeah, I've never really understood that. I've never really understood the music industry with... you know, I fully understand the whole licensing law and copyright and all of those other things. Absolutely fine, but... Really, stopping people from playing music on Twitch streaming doesn't make sense to me, you know. It seems odd. I can play music as long as I don't save the VODs. If I don't save the VODs, then fine, because that's what I used to do before. Problem is, I never got enough views. So, you know, having the VODs is actually quite good, even if it is only for 7 days. You know. I know people still look at my videos after I've streamed. And I upload them to YouTube. And I get probably more views on YouTube than I do on Twitch. So these are all the same. So I highlight all of these. Okay, highlight that one. Link object data. Boom, they're all done. Pick any one of these, doesn't matter which one. The UVs are all exactly the same. There we go. I'm not going to bother hiding any of this at this stage because all I've got left to do now are these things. The pistons. But yeah, I don't understand the music industry, you know, and if anyone dare stream certain artists, this is why there's this whole problem a few years ago with the DMCA, you know, strikes that people used to get because they were streaming a certain... Well, there's a couple of people on the planet that like to think that they're, you know, godlike people or something, you know, that they're above everyone else, and how dare you replay my music, which I find just really odd. But ooh, hey, what's that? Is that not part of that? Huh? Okay. But yeah, it seems weird to me. Free advertising. There you go for your thing, for your music. But no. So what people do is they then just go out and create their own version of a certain person's music, and you know, let's be realistic. Most of the time, it's usually not that much better, is it? Oh, is this not part of the same thing? I thought that was all part of the same thing. Okay. So yeah, I find it odd. I find the music industry very odd. They had this conversation actually with the same person this morning about software. So software licensing. So you have large companies who make billions every year from software licensing and development, and yet they charge astronomical amounts of money still to a very small amount of people who can afford it, which again doesn't make any sense, because surely if you made your software affordable for everybody, then everyone would be buying your software because it was more affordable. So instead of it costing, you know, £60 a month or 50 pounds a month or however much, like why not make it 15-20 pounds a month, right? Because instead of only having a couple of million people licensing it at the full price, you could probably get 100 million or more at the lower price. I don't know, it doesn't make sense to me. Okay, we're done. We're done. So while we're in this mode, we need to bring everything back. So now I'm going to bring everything back into view so that Mr. Pantheon doesn't have a heart attack. Okay. Fix Adobe. Yeah. They need to fix Adobe. We had this conversation, didn't we? Yeah, it's such a shame, you know. It is such a shame. It just doesn't kind of make sense to me why they limit their, you know, why they limit their software and that. I don't know. It's not like it costs them that much in, you know, literally millions upon millions in development every time. It's just, in my opinion, it's just greed. It's just pure greed. And it's always been around ever since, you know, I mean, I've been in the industry for 40 plus years. Seen it, been there, done it. You know, do you know what I mean? The shareware concept was always quite good, but the big boys don't seem to see that as being a very good way of running a business. I need to figure out how on earth I bring everything back again without having to drill down deep. Can I not just globally bring everything back again? Make everything viewable. There's got to be a way of selecting. It doesn't seem to be. What is this? New collection. Filtering. All view layers. Because there's nested layers in here. See if I can find it. Come on. Nope. Got to be in here then, isn't it? No. La, la, la. View, expand all, show one level, hide one level, area. View, show active. Expand, collapse all, shift A. Okay. That's a big tree, she said. What a big tree you have. Yeah, Affinity. Absolutely. I'm a big fan. I've always been a big fan of Serif. They used to be called Serif years ago. There's got to be a way of enabling all this again without having to do this. Globally. Right, now here comes the key thing. How do you get panels? I didn't do anything other than that, so... Ooh, yeah, there we go. I was 1 pixel out. You know what? They might bring out a sale in Easter. They tend to, I think they sort of stick to certain periods of the year, you know, where they bring out their sales. Okay, so I think that's everything back. Mr. Pantheon. Cool. Let's save that. Let's go back. So if we go into layout mode, cool. There's his model. Layout mode. So if we go into UV editing, machine is back in its... Oh, he's already... Oh, of course, yeah, he's got... This is a normal. So if I come out of that mode there, so if he goes into there, he'll come there. I tend to actually use this mode quite a lot. So if we go into there, woohoo! Quite like that effect actually. 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 Quite like But you see how the UVs are? So now, the key thing now, of course, is getting the UVs to actually, if we go back to, he had 2 UVs, didn't he? So I think he actually painted that on that one. You see the difference in the quality, right? This is what I'm saying about the difference in the quality. This is what he painted this. He applied the texture on this auto map one, but that is how UV unwrapping enhances your quality of your texturing. So literally all you have to do now is identify what that piece is there. I mean, obviously now with this unwrapped, I mean, I actually quite like the fact that it's got different patterns, but if you were absolutely you know, you wanted to, well, this I would do, right? It would be nice to try and get this bit, but all he has to do now by using the UV unwrapping that I've done rather than that one, you know, if I switch that one back on again, you see, that's what he was getting, and that's because the UV map was just the whole bike all on one thing, if that makes sense. So using this UV map, you can now match up the texture with the rest of it. So if you like this or you like this, you can now use this UV map, identify what section of your panel that is, and match it up. And that's basically how you do it. But sometimes, you know, most of this is all matched up. It's just really that bit there. But if it looks the same on the other side, which it doesn't, yeah, so for some reason, why is that just that one bit there? Why is just that one bit there? Oh, why do you keep disappearing? What did we press on? Was it Control A? No. What was it to... View? Oh, Shift A. Okay. Shift A. Oh, that's actually to view the whole lot or not view the whole lot. I want to collapse or view. Okay, show or active. Oh, what's that little tiny bit? That appeared earlier and I don't know what that is. What is that? Is that a vertice? I have no idea what that is. Can't even highlight it. Weird. Decimal point with cursor over the panel. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. But it seems to be this, whatever it is, but I can't make out what it is. Ah! Okay. But what is it? Oh, it's a... Oh, it's the point where everything is parented, I think. Seems a strange place to kind of parent everything. Wow. Okay. That's why. Why would it parent it all there? Seems weird. Interesting. Very interesting. But anyway, what I was trying to do was... Why does that keep disappearing when I want to go into edit mode? That doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense at all. So I can go into edit mode on anything else, but I can't go into edit mode on... Oh, hang on. Something's been enabled here. Orientation. 3D viewport. Okay. It goes into edit mode. Right. There we go. Right, I just want to make sure that everything is back to where it should be for him. I like the headlight and the headlamp. So if you go into edit mode, you can go into edit mode. Right, so what I was doing was... Yeah, I think my plan of hiding as I went along probably backfired on me there. So if we highlight this panel, I'm assuming he will use my UVs, not this UV. So we can find out where that is. Do, 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 do. You see that panel? Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Yeah, I would just retexture this for sure. You can see the normals for the texture there, but that particular panel there is just way too... Why just that panel? Is it because... Oh, panel the other side's been done. Interesting. Interesting. Let's just get rid of this 1 minute because I find it distracting when it's got an image on the background. Conformal. That's better. Limit the UV map to just literally that body. Okay. I won't pack it actually, I'll leave it as it is. Let's just see what it looks like. Better. I don't know whether he really wants it that small or big. I like the texture actually. Yeah, that's now looking a lot better. Cool. Cool. Brilliant. Okay, let's go back to here. Yeah, still not. It's really weird. This side is... Oh no, look. Okay. No, that's fine, but this isn't. Yeah. Ba, 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 ba. I don't think that. I think that needs more. Let's go back to this mode. No, let's go back to this mode. Let's go back to here. Let's isolate that. Can't. I think it doesn't like the fact that it's got that cut and that cut. I think it's upsetting the the mapping of the texture. I'm going to clear that because it's probably unnecessary, and then it won't screw up the make it look like it's got different. Suspect that that's okay. That's there as well, so let's clear that. Okay, now that should look a bit more uniform. See, it's the same with this. Okay, so I think it's the same with that. It's an unnecessary cut because you've got two here, and this is being seen, you see, so you don't really want that to be visible. The inside one is fine. If anything, I would cut it. Are we cut there? Yeah, we are. Okay, so I would cut it there and possibly there. Right. We've still got a cut there. Why have we still got a cut there? Clear. Right. Okay. So we're cut behind there. We're cut underneath, which is a good place to put a cut. And then here, which is a good place to put a cut, because then we've got a curvature over the top. We've cut out the, well, that as well, and that's fine. That should actually look a lot better now. Right, so let's unwrap it again. Right, so if we now look at it, so we've got the whole bike back. Fine, let's go back here. There we go. Is it? Yeah, does look, yeah, it is. That's better now. And then this should look better, right? So that flows all the way around the whole grill now on the front, you see. You got a nice, but it will look different underneath, right? But it doesn't matter underneath because no one's really going to look at it underneath. So where it's cut underneath, it doesn't matter. But now it looks a lot more uniform. fucking nice night. I do like this bike. It's really neat. Really neat. Okay, so let me put it back into a mode that he likes, which will be that, possibly that mode. I don't know. Anyway, we'll save it in that mode, and then layout mode we will stick it there. Right. Okay. Right. So if we go back, Oh, okay. We go back. We've got UV editing mode, which is fine. So we got the whole kit caboodle. Compositing. Right, so he works in layout mode. Let's just save that and send it back. We can send it back, wrap it up in nice pink fluffy paper with hearts on and wrapped in a pink bow, and we'll give it back to him. Right. Steamship is finished. Vintage lamp. We did finish the vintage lamps yesterday. What else was I going to work on? Oh yes, this. Right. So this is what I wanna texture this today, and I need to do the physics. I thought I'd actually done the physics on this. No, I don't think I had. This particular version of this model I haven't done. But I tend to work in this mode quite a lot, and if we look at what it looks like. Okay, right, while I send this file back to our lovely Mr. Pantheon, okay, let me just sort the file for him. Bear with me while I just get this done now, because I know he's eager to get texturing it, and I just think it's going to look fucking amazing. I don't swear very often, but yeah. Okay, there we go. Bike, bike. Right, there we go. Are you kidding me? Oh yeah, of course. I can't send it via thingy, can I? Ah. I have to send it via the file system. I do wish they... Why, Discord? Why do I have to pay to send files? I'm not going to pay to send files. Just crazy. There's plenty of free services around that will give me 20 gigs of free space that I can share files with people. Crazy. There we go. Upload. Yes, please. Bum 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 ba-da. Bum ba 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 ba. Come on. Okay, here we go. So, share a link. Copy link. There we go. It's back in his ball court, as they say. And he's already warned me he's going to... He's going to give me the dragon to unwrap. I personally, I don't think the dragon. I think he'll be fine with the dragon. Really. I tend to find actually with more organic, what I call organic models, you've got to, unless you have to be absolutely precise. You don't. I mean, you know, your unwrap can be just done, you know, generically. You don't need to, unless it's, you know, unless there's a massive reason why it has to be very, very accurate. I can understand, you know, armor and clothing and things like that have to be done. Right, okay, let's work on this. I think I've got, yeah, so I've got stairs, we've got floors, we've got 3 floors of space. So, yeah, so I'm actually really quite happy with how this is. All I really need to do now is to texturize it, really. I did have a texture on it before, but it was a flat, what I call a flat file. You know, it was just an image, and then I tweaked it in Blender, and it just wasn't really very. It didn't really come out very well. It was, the bricks were too clear, too precise. Yeah, it just didn't really look well. So I'm going to break this up. Let me make sure that he's got that file. Yes, he has. Okay, that's fine. Boom. Jolly good, jolly good. What are we doing here? What are we doing? Okay. Let's change our background music, which is just sort of rather nice, but I keep playing the same thing all the time. Let's try something different. I'm allowed to play. This website provides DMCA friendly kind of backdrop music. Not really music, but sort of sounds. And I mean, there's a few that I like, but I'm not so sure everyone else will really like them. Ah, this is nice. Dreaming Nautilus. It's kind of just a generic sort of background music, which I find quite soothing. I really want to find out how I can get my standard compositing node system into this file. And there's a video, somebody very kindly in Pantheon's stream sent me a video which is not very long, it's about a minute long, so I'm just going to play it 1 minute. I just want to see what they say.
How to copy composition nodes from one Blender file to another. First you want to do is go in your composition, select all the nodes you want to copy, press Ctrl G to group them together. Once you group them together, press Tab, and then we're just going to scroll in over here and just name this Test 1. Ctrl A, Ctrl C, and in the node group we're going to name it the same thing.
Oh, okay, right, okay. Right, I see how... Do love it when people do these useful videos. Okay, so if I go into my, what I call my standard, and I don't know whether anyone else does this, but I know some people just use the generic you know, they just use Blender as it comes, right? So they never ever customize anything, they never get anything. But I have always, even from version 2, I have always created my own default startup file, and you can save it however you want your defaults into. So you go File, Defaults, Save Startup File, and you can obviously load those settings as well. But I basically make everything looks excuse me. So the first thing I do was always, when I first started using Blender, was I always raised. I don't really like it when the default cube is kind of the what do they call it? The origin, right? The origin is right dead center in the volume middle of it. So I prefer everything I build or my make, I like the origin to be at the bottom, starting where the cursor is. So I create my startup file, which has everything that I want. So, you know, what my base color is, what the environment is, what the world is, what all my settings for video output, you know, scene, all of these things. I don't ever have to change them after my file's loaded. So I kind of go through everything that I want set as default, right? So like denoising and all that. So you don't have to keep remembering, right? So you set it up exactly how you want it. You know, all these little hidden away things where, you know, the performance for the compositor apparently was set by default to CPU and not GPU. You know, all that kind of stuff. So I just go through all of these settings, set them up exactly how I want them. There's loads of videos about, you know, the best optimum settings for Blender and all of that kind of thing. And then when you've got everything that because you might not want the default cube, right? Some people have got a model they did of their dog or their cat or something, you know, as the default startup file, and so you can create that in here. So you just go File, Defaults, Save Startup File, and I then manually back up that file onto my server storage, just in case I screw something up, and I can just restore it back again, because I have lost that default file so many times. When you upgrade Blender, it just trashes your startup file and all of your settings are all gone, and I just got sick and tired of that happening. And one of the things I do is I go in and set up every, you know, you can set up each of these screens how you want them to be. You know, like for instance, if you want that to always be vertical instead of horizontal, for instance, you can set it up that way and then go and save that setting in your default startup file. So it, you know, in fact, actually, I probably will actually save it around that way. Oh, and now I fucked that up, haven't I? What have I done? What have I done? No, I don't want this. Right, okay. Right, I might actually save it that way. So what I do is I just go here, and if I see something along the way, I just go in and say, oh, I really want this set round this way, or I want it, you know, however you want it. Then you just go edit, file, default, save startup file, and it will overwrite it. So remember that if you're working on a model, it will overwrite your startup file with the model that you're currently working on. So just have your startup file open, make your changes. Don't do it while you're actually modeling on something. Just remember to just, you know, if you see a setting you want to enable, open up your default file first and then save it with the new setting. Yeah, I made that mistake many a time. You know, you'll open up an old file that hasn't got any settings at all on it, and then you go and overwrite your default file, and it just, yeah. not a happy situation. Anyway, I've got my compositing into a group, right? So this is obviously what Pantheon 3D taught me recently. I'd heard about it. I'd certainly heard about compositing, didn't really know an awful lot, and didn't realize that it was kind of key to everything that you're trying to do, to produce your artwork, video or stills. And so let me just save that again, right? So I'm gonna, because I just swapped those two things around, right? So you highlight that, you tab on it. This is my group, right? So I've now created a custom group based on what Pantheon 3D taught me. And I just changed things around slightly. So one of the useful things I like is actually to have the scale and then RGB curves, because I adjust those things in my photography, right? So I'm a professional photographer for 35 years. So, editing RGB curves was important. Color balance obviously is important. Blur, which is something. And then you've got all these glare nodes. And then on top of that, that get mixed with and that reminds me, I need to change this image. Actually, I might do that now, because I used an image that I wasn't really that happy with. let me I'm trying to do too many things at once now. Right, so I've got two versions of Blender open. Which version do I need? This one. Let me just go back. Okay, so I'm going to save this 1 minute. So I wanted to create a watermark, right? Because, all of my career I've used watermarks to watermark any artwork that I've ever produced. And it just helps people to identify. I know watermarks, you can get rid of them and all of that. And I know that, but the majority of people are not ever going to do that, because they can't be bothered. But if you've got your watermark on something, then people know where it's come from. Okay, so I wanted to get kind of a decent image of this. Yeah, you see, the problem with this is that looks better. It's interesting, isn't it? So I want to get... Is it me, or does that just look skewed? Anyway, let's get the camera to look at this. Of course, the camera doesn't want to do anything, does it? Boing! Right, okay. Right, so if I now create a render of that, nice. That is what compositing does. It's just awesome. So I'm going to save this image. This is where affinity comes in. So I'm going to call this copyright overlay image. We are in there. Save. Okay, that's fine. Cool. Come out of there. Let's just save that file. Have I still got two files open? Yeah. Okay, that's fine. So if I go back to this one, sorry, I'm switching between apps because I want to create a logo, and I want to put it into my default file, which is here. And the logo that I had, I created in Affinity, but I'm not a graphic designer, and yeah, so I'm sure I'm sure Squisher, if he's still learning, would be able to do something quite easily. But the reason why I created the Blender file was because I found it easier to do in Blender than trying to do it in Affinity, you know. But there are things that I can do in Affinity which so this is what I tend to use Affinity for most of the time, because it just works, right? I use software because it works, not, you know, not really for... And I've always found Affinity products, or what they used to be called Serif, they're just things work. It just works. Copyright overlay. Right, so what I use in here now, this is the image. Actually, probably use that. No. Oh, of course, that's a curve, isn't it? Right, okay, yeah. If I duplicate this, right. I think I need to rasterize this. Actually, see, I've never really understood, right? All I want to do is... Do I have to go into here? Select... Can I not just select everything that's outside of that circle? Control D. Let's just do this again. It selects the whole thing. Oh, that's because I'm on the wrong... Oh, stupid. I'm not watching what I'm doing on my layers. We want to bring tolerance right down. And that's... yeah, okay, so we're nearly there. Nearly there, nearly there, nearly there. Okay. That should now have given me... There we go. All I need to do now is go back to, this is called the... This is why I love the Affinity products, because you can switch between the personas of vector graphics and bitmap graphics, if you know what they are. So bitmap graphics are about pixel level image editing, right? And then vector graphics is let me show you. Right, so if I just turn this off, this is a pixel control. Hang on, let me save what I'm trying to do first. Everything's off. I can now export this really quickly right? So I can now select either the whole document, a selection area, which is what I've got, or only the selection, right? Which is what I want. Now I'm going to use PNG so that I can, you know, the backdrop is this hashed transparency, the word I'm trying to think of. Okay, so you know, you can select everything here, and then I'm just going to export it out. So I'm going to call it copyright overlay transparent, right? Is it ENT or ANT? Transparent, PRENT. Oh, I don't know. Right, okay, that's that done. Let me just save this as a file so that I can go back into it at some point. Right, so if I create a new file, right, I'm in the design program. Okay, I'm in the, you've got the three things. You've got Affinity Designer, which is vector graphics, then you've got Affinity Photo, which is pixel graphics, and then Desktop Publishing, which is for creating, you know, books and leaflets and flyers and posters and doing all of those things. The beauty with these three apps, which you couldn't really do before, was that you can switch between them. You've got persona, what they call persona profiles for each of those things, and it's really good. So this, right, this is vector graphics, right? So it produces a shape that you can color and manipulate and change things around, and you know, you can change the stroke, right, that kind of thing. This is vector graphics. Okay, and the beauty with vector graphics is, you know, you can change the colors and you can put gradients in there and you can do all sorts of lovely stuff, and you know, you can create amazing graphics. Now the beauty with vector graphics is that I can zoom in, as I can just keep zooming in, right? I'm zoomed in at the moment to, I don't know, where is the zoom level? 18,000%. Right? That's 427%. So I am now zoomed into 9,700%. Right? And I can keep going, and I'm now up to 101.5 million% zoom. Right? And look how sharp the edge is. That is vector graphics. Right? I can move this element around. I can resize it. I can twist it. I can turn it. You know, you can do all pretty much the same thing in bitmaps as well. But the thing with bitmaps is, if I then go into there and I create a bitmap pixel layer, right? If I use a paintbrush, let's say, and I go like this, right? That is bitmap graphics. The difference being that if I switch back, if I now start zooming in on here, see how it breaks up? Look at all the pixels are each one of those little, right? So if I hang on, if I just try and bring this example over to here, you can see the difference, right? So if I zoom in, right, this on the left hand side is vector graphics. This on the right hand side is pixel graphics, or painting, right? So this is another thing that Affinity have been able to do, is they've been able to get both of these two things into the same program, right? Very clever. You couldn't do this before. I dare say Adobe's products can do it. You know, I mean, it was a step forward quite a long time ago, where you could bring vector and bitmap graphics into the same. But see what happens? I can keep zooming into vector graphics and it's as sharp as it'll ever be, right? I'm zoomed in 6,200%, and look how this starts breaking up, right? But if you zoom out to 100%, right? So, okay, it's 112%. Okay, but I mean, you get the general idea. Don't know whether I can zoom out on a percentage. Never really needed to do that, but you know, you can kind of even at that percentage, right? That's 89%. You can kind of see, and that's the whole point of bitmap graphics, right? That you can do exactly that. So I can create that layer, and then I can pick up a brush or a pen, pencil, whatever I want to draw with. Is my tablet working? No, it isn't. Okay, no. So that's the difference. That is the difference. Am I right? Am I right, Miss Squitcher, or am I Squisher rather? If he's still listening, he's probably going, "What a load of crap." But no, I think that, you know, that's my simplistic. And then of course you can mix and match the two, and then if you're a publisher or you're designing a leaflet or a book, it means that you can design whatever it is you want to do and bring that into your desktop publisher, and your desktop publisher kind of marries those two things together with Word and word flowing and, you know, multiple layers of things, and I mean, you know, book design and all of that kind of stuff. I mean, it's all really clever. Highly recommend if you want to play with graphics. I know there are systems around called, I think there's one called Canva, which seems to be really popular, but pretty sure you have to pay for it. Anyway, this is a hell of a lot more powerful, you know, a lot more powerful. And yes, there are free programs around. You can go and buy GIMP, learning curve, you know, probably about 95 degrees. And you've got all these other programs. It all depends on what you want to use it for. But, you know, if you want something that marries all of these three things together, vector graphics, bitmap graphics, and desktop publishing, just really high. I mean, I'm not a sponsor of them, but I just love their software. And of course, Squisher, people like Squisher and me, we look out for the special offers. I've nearly always bought their software on special offers. So, you know, this is their website, Just Affinity. But, you know, I mean, the stuff that you can do in vector graphics is just amazing. It's just mind-blowing. And it even has some very basic 3D capabilities. And then you've got your photos, and then you can marry the two together in your desktop publishing kind of suite. You know, and I mean, I've seen people really struggling with things like Word to produce, you know, leaflets and flyers and pamphlets and you know, website articles, vlogging, you know, all that kind of thing. And they're seriously struggling to get this kind of adaptability in Word or any other desktop, you know, any other word processing program. Use Publisher. It's a hell of a lot cheaper than it's a lot cheaper than, I mean, even at their top price, one-off payment, £160 for all of the apps on all the platforms. So if you've got an iPad, right, you can pay that £160 and you've got all of these apps on your iPad included. I wish they did it for Android, but yeah. But wait for their special offer. This will drop right down, and I mean it will drop right down. They'll do a special offer at some point. You know, you got free trial there. Download it. Yeah, highly recommend it. But anyway, I've been able to do. I use it a lot now. and I still even have to use their old program because I used to have so much artwork done for people in my simplistic terms of artwork, things like logos, logo design and graphics and such like that. People just, you know, they paid somebody to do many years ago, and now that person isn't available anymore, or they're no longer in business or something, and they want me to, you know, redo their logo. And I used to use all the Affinity apps to do that, but then it's really good for this kind of thing, right? So, you know, this was my attempt at doing it in Affinity. I tried doing it, but I thought, do you know what? I'm going to do it in Blender and produced. So I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to open up my new file. Anyway, enough of me waffling on. I'm sure this is what sends people to sleep. So I've now created the overlay transparent one that I wanted. I can now open that up, and ooh, it looks awful. Why does it look so bad? But I think that that's just a preview. But anyway, we can try that out. I've got my new logo in there now anyway. It could just be that it's a really big file crammed into a tiny little preview, I suspect. Let me look at it. I know that there are other artists, in fact, and also people who use Blender who also use Affinity, because, you know, they almost refuse to use and pay for the expensive Adobe products. Oh no, it actually looks all right. Okay, so that's the resolution. It's 1600 by 580, so I mean it's more than enough. I think it's just that the preview is just really quite bad. So anyway, my logo is in there now, a new logo. I've got this. I can now create my group. I've got my group there. Now, what was it this video was saying? That I needed to rename the node group. Label, there we go. So if I call it I'm just going to put Magus Hellwalker underscore standard, right? This is just basically my standard. I'm going to name C. Can I rename the group as well? I can. Okay. Actually, I'm just going to call it my standard. Just call it my standard group for compositing. That's fine. Okay, so it's now come up with that name. That's cool. So what I do now, I've made those changes. I now need to remember that this is my standard file. How I want it to be, I now save my default startup file, overwrite it. That's it. Next time I go in here and create a new file, my new compositing group with my new logo and how it's laid out and everything is going to be exactly the same for everything I create from now on. Cool. I don't need to save that. Right, we're back here now. What I do want to know is, let's watch the rest of this video.
File, save as, and for the interest of this, I'm going to desktop and I'm going to go call this the test file, and I'm going to press save as. Once you've done that, you can move over and open up the Blender file that you want to work with.
Yeah.
So we'll be working with this one. And then we just have to press file, append, go to desktop, scroll all the way down, find test, and go to nodes and select test 1. Once you've done that, you can press it.
Oh, it is just nodes, right? Okay. You see, I couldn't find it, which is interesting. So, of course, now I haven't backed that up yet. Let me just very quickly back up my file. Oh yeah, as everyone should be doing their backups, right? Yeah, everyone does backups. Do you do your backups? Right? Because if you're not, you should be. This program is absolutely brilliant. I've been using this for decades. I think decades, at least 2 decades. I think I've been using this program. It is absolutely awesome, and you can set up backups for pretty much everything. So it's really, really good, and it supports things like FTP. I back up to my offline server. I don't know whether it does cloud. I'm not so sure because I don't really use cloud, but it probably does. But I've got Blender backups, and I just click on run and it goes away and backs up all of my add-ons, all of my standard files, everything. Look, my Polyhaven data, everything. So if I change anything at all in any of these directories, like I go and download more Polyhaven HDRIs or something, all of those get backed up. And it just works. So highly recommend SyncBack. It's free. Get the free version. You can pay for it if you want, but it is an absolutely awesome program. Okay, I'm going to put the link in. If you don't use any form of backup at all, then I can highly recommend that. Free backup app. There we go. It gets backed up to my server, and I can then pick up my startup file from there, which has literally just been done 2-3 minutes ago. So he's saying I click on append and then go to node tree. He did it so quick I couldn't really see where he clicked on. What did he click on?
Nodes and select test.
What did he just does it so quick?
All the way down, find test and go to nodes.
Node tree, right? So it's not nodes, it's node tree. See, it's not in there. It isn't in there. I had this problem earlier. This is 2 years ago. See, it's not in there. I don't think it's in there. I think it's in somewhere else. Mesh, material, light, image, free, collection. No, that's my assets. Light. Nope. Material, mesh, node, object. Nope. Scene. Nope. Workspace. World. Nope. That's not working. That is not, and he's clicking on node tree. Let me go back again.
Yeah, and just name this test 1. Control A, Control C, and in the node group we're going to name it the same thing. Once we've done that, I'm going to press File, Save As, and for the interest of this, I'm going to desktop and I'm going to go call this the test.
He's just saved it as a test file. Nothing special.
You can move over and open up the Blender file that you want to work with. So we'll be working with this one. And then we just have to press File, Append, go to Desktop, scroll all the way down, find Test, and go to Nodes and select Test 1. Once you've done that, you can press Shift A, Group, Test, chuck this in here.
Ah, okay. But it's not in there. It's not in my group that I created is not in there. Okay. I don't know. Let's open up it again. Right, this is my default startup file. If I go to compositing, it's got my logo, so I know that's been saved. Create the group. My standard group, right? Actually, maybe I shouldn't rename. Maybe I should call it my compositing group, right? Node, so okay, it says it's in node group. Presets, there's no presets. Okay, so it's definitely a node. Interesting. Right, so if I go file, default save startup file. Okay, let me just save this as a file then, as a separate. Maybe it's actually looking, so I'm going to do what he said. I'm just going to put test on my desktop, right? Bog standard file. So I'll go file, append, go to my desktop, test, go to node tree. I'm not seeing it. Node group. I'm not seeing the file that I just created. If I go to compositing, use nodes, and if I add group, see, it just calls it node group. That's not my node group at all, but I don't know quite what that is. I have no idea. Node group 1. That's not mine either. Ooh, there's a hue correct as well. And then add group, node group 2. That's mine. It's just called node group 2. Interesting. You see what I mean about tutorials on, you know, you watch videos on YouTube, right? They go, oh yeah, you need to click on here, do that, save it as this, boom, 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 open up the file, do that, do this, do it. And it's like, yeah, that's not actually what happens. That's not what happens at all. But that is my node group. Interesting. I don't get this. See, it's just labeled group. Weird. Okay. Well, at least I know where it is. I guess I can play around with this. plug that into there, and don't really need that because I've already got a composite, and then that's it. So it's added it, but it's not added it in the way that, so giving it a name doesn't actually seem to make any difference, which is very odd. Am I missing something? Anyway, okay, let's just not do this anymore. I'm wasting time. I'm procrastinating. If I open this up, I'm curious because... Oh! Right, he did say... So, MH... Compositing group. Okay. So why would you have to label it there, and then label it there, and label it there? That doesn't make sense. Okay. Right, okay, okay, okay. Seems a bit long-winded. Surely if you're going to give it a name and give it a name and give it a name, give it 3 names and it still doesn't save it under the name that you really want. It seems a bit pointless, but anyway. Right, so if I save up, see what I do? So I change something, I save up my startup file. Okay, Mr. Cheap Viewers, we can get you banned. There you go, Mr. Cheap Viewers. You're banned. What's the point? Of course I do that. I always want it in that mode, so I just overwrite the startup file again. Right, okay, let's get back to work. This has got... I've split all this up, really? Why have I split all that up? That doesn't make sense. Okay. These have all got their own... Oh, no, I know why. I know why I split all these up. I split all these up because I remodeled it and brought the faces and edges down. I mean, there's 7.8 thousand faces. Yeah, I really need to... Yeah, I really need to... I really need to group all this together. And yeah, I separated it all because I edited. Yeah, I remember doing that. And I never put it all back together again. They've all got their own separate... Oh, no, that's okay. Okay, that's okay. So I just didn't do that one. Oh, okay. So that, for some unknown reason, all of that is... Okay. So I need to get rid of this side. Ooh, that's going to take a bit of doing. I obviously never put this back together again. Interesting, interesting. Okay. So for whatever reason, didn't put this back together again. Interesting. But that one I did. Mm. Okay, bear with me 1 minute. I need to just figure out who that is. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Where are we? Right, I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. That's fine. Oh, right. Um, let's join those two together. Right. let's move that over there. I don't know quite, I don't really understand why. That seems to be lined up pretty well. Okay, right, so yeah, that's the same. That's the same. This is the same. No, that's not the same. Okay. Oh, that's all broken up as well. I didn't put these together either. What about this? Okay. Okay. This is really weird. I don't really quite understand. How many... This is very odd. I wonder actually whether I ever really finished this. I'm beginning to wonder that I didn't actually really finish this off. I am really beginning to wonder because there's actually no point in having those two there. Okay, fine. Right, so really we need to grab all of these. La 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 la. You know what? I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right. I don't think I vaguely remember that I wanted to try and reduce the overall edges and faces of this, and I got a feeling that I did one. Yeah, I did this, and obviously I've copied that over. I didn't do this, yeah, and I think that's what the problem is. I suspect that that's what the problem is, because that doesn't look right to me. No. Yeah, that doesn't look right to me. Because I can still see a bevel on that. And of course, what I did was I put a bevel on this and then realized that actually that was, you know, probably, although it looks nice, it was unnecessary. It was totally unnecessary. And of course, I got rid of that on this. Pretty sure. Or no, I didn't get rid of it on there. Oh, okay. I know I got rid of it on one of these. Pretty sure I got rid of it on one of these. No, I didn't. No, way too many. Okay, I got a feeling I think what happened was, I'm kind of remembering, I think what happened was I started to do something with this and then, yeah. I think I started to do something and then I stopped for some reason. Mm. And that's why I removed all the textures on here, because it wasn't texturing out properly, because it was just way too, for what it needs to be. It's way too detailed. Okay. Okay, I need to remember, I need to write down the reasons why I did this. You know what? It might actually be easier for me to actually redesign the front, to just redesign this, because I think that this whole thing is actually not really very, yeah, I've put bevels on things that don't need to have bevels. Okay. Yeah. Can I remember what the radius of that is? What's the size of it? X. So XY, it's 4.37 meters. Okay. Weird size. I don't know quite why it would be that size. Let's redesign this. The top window here is just this floor window resized. Okay, so, and all of this can just be redone, right? So let's do that. As an exercise, let's just redesign it from the bottom up, and I can do it properly and a lot more efficiently, and efficiently as in not so many tries. Right, so I am going to put the cursor there. We're going to go Control A. We want a, what was it again? Really weird size, 4.37 meters. Okay. 4.37, sorry, yeah, 4.37 meter radius. Oh, weird. What a weird 4.37. Let's start with a cylinder. Why not? Right. We're going to bring the we're going to bring this right down. Radius 4.37. We'll start off with, let's just start off with a 0.5 depth. I don't know what the depth of that is, actually. Doesn't matter. This is why sometimes I find it really irritating, Blender. You know, I wanted the thing to be here, But no, it didn't do that because I was looking at it from this angle. It stuck it right down over there, which is just bizarre. Stick it right there then. Right. Right, there we go. I think that will... Why is it so... Oh no, of course this should be 2 point... It's not the radius, is it? 4.27, half of that would be 2.13.5. Yeah, something like that. Okay, so that's got to be the right. Okay, so G on the Y. Let's bring it in here. Yeah, let's not make it quite so detailed. Although it looks really, really nice. I suspect that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, too many really, far too many. It's all very well doing it, you know, this kind of mesh integrity, mesh intensity, but it becomes just burdensome. No, how can I get... I can't remember how I did. I think, well, yeah, I think I know how I did it, actually. I remember getting rid of all these faces to create that kind of figure out it's actually 3.78 meters. So okay. Shame you can't get that. So close. In fact, actually, well, no, because it's got to match the 3.86. So 3.78, and I need to move it 0.08. 0.08 meters. Exactly. 0.378. I love it. Right. So if we take that and that, fill that and that, fill. We take that, that and that, fill. Right. We want to take that whole thing. Actually, no, I don't need to fill it down there. Fill. Actually, I do need to fill that. Let's just fill it because I'm going to rebuild all of this up here. So why not? I need to take, let's just move this in place here so that I can kind of replicate as good as, right. And I can do this really quite quickly, I think. And I'll probably do a better job now that I'm doing it the second time around. Right, so let's okay. Let's make sure the scale is zeroed out. Set origin to 3D cursor. It makes life a lot easier. Right, so 3. Scale Z. I'm going to keep this as good as the same, really. Let's just keep it, you know, how can I how can I keep the inset to this side? So if I go inset in, no, it doesn't do anything. Where is its boundary? It doesn't have a boundary, does it? It doesn't have individual. How did I do that before, I wonder? Interesting. Interesting. No sub D, bro. Ah, hello. Sorry, I was too concentrated on what I was doing. No sub D. Why do I need sub D on this? Show your work. Ba, 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 ba. I can't remember if that's what I did before. I really can't remember. How did I do this before? How did I get it to stay there? I wonder, did I slice it? Put your sub D where your mouth is. Yeah, I'm not so sure I need sub D on this. It's not high resolution, it's low poly. I'm not here to 1v1 PvP. Okay. And I'm not here to use sub D when I don't need to. Not everything in life is sub D. Fine if you're doing high poly stuff, but I'm not. I'm doing low poly. So. Low poly equals sub D. No, I don't. Yeah, I agree with Morningstar. Not necessarily. Doesn't mean low poly at all. My experience, every time I use low subdivision, it increases the everything. Massive. Faces, the whole lot. How do you then bring it into a game? You can't apply sub D for a game. It's crazy. Anyway. Is that what you do? You go into people's streams and start criticizing? They should use sub D. Maybe you should change your name from RRZX502 to Big Sub D Fan. Okay, Morning Stark's got a friend. Right. I can't remember how I did this before. I got a sneaky suspicion that I no. I can't remember how I did that. How can I get this to stay? Don't know. I don't know. I must have. Yeah, see, I can't. Let me just grab this 1 minute. I can't. See, there's way too much detail on this. I can't remember how I did this. Oh, do you know what? I reckon I cut that. I used a knife. I got a feeling that's how I did that. Because I can't see how else I did it. Okay, I've got an idea. I have an idea. Let's see if this works. Oh, hang on. No, that doesn't work, does it? It don't work. Okay, it's fine. If I do this, inset. We want to, yeah, okay, we want to snap on that. Right, let's take a look at this. Loading 3D model. Right, but I'm not using curves. I can understand using that if you want curves. Okay, thanks for showing your work. I got a feeling this is how I did it before. I suspect this is how I did it before. So I took this. Right, I've got a feeling. I'm trying to remember what I did years ago. Why don't you snap? Come on. Really? Why are you not snapping? Okay. You don't want to snap, you don't want to snap. See? This edge snap thing doesn't really work, does it? Auto merging. It don't work. Okay. Well, I can just clean that up afterwards, but I'm pretty sure that's how I did it, and then I just sliced that off. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's how I did it. Always makes me laugh how people oh, sub D, you got to use sub D, and it's like, no, you don't need to use sub D on everything. I think it's watching too many other people's videos that keep saying that. And they seem to think that everything in life in Blender has got to be sub D, and it doesn't. It doesn't need to be sub D. I've seen videos like that, and I look at it and think, well, actually, you didn't need to do that at all. But hey, if that's how you work, then that's fine, isn't it? I tend not to work like that. My low poly really is low poly. Do 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 do. Dissolve edge. Okay, that's fine. Right, so we're basically getting this ready. I'm going to make this all one thing because I don't know why I split it up like that before. I split it up into various. Again, I think this is just learning over time. You know, you just realize you just double your work, if not double even more. You know, it just doesn't make sense to me now. It doesn't make sense why I did it that way, but I guess I was young and naive and all of those other things. Okay, right, so I don't need to do anything with this other than really bring it up to about there. It's about the same. It's about the same. None of this needs physics. So other than it needs to be physics itself so that people bump into the window, they're not gonna, you know, but no, who's gonna bump into the window? It's off the ground, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I'm still not convinced that's going to work. But you know what? I'm going to make this even more low poly because I don't really need these ridges in here. It's too much detail. I've nothing good to show, but that looks like that it could have been done with just smooth shading. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you, Morny. I think people watch too many videos about sub D this, sub D that. You can't do that without using sub D. Well, yeah. Yeah. You don't need to use sub D on start if like not really. I've made almost replicas of videos that I've seen on YouTube without using sub D, and to my opinion makes exactly the same. I guess whoever RZX502 is, they've unfollowed because I've lost a follower. I'd rather people didn't just come into my stream to start saying crap like that. Everyone's got a different way of working, and yeah. No, I know. I'm not a modelling expert either. I mean, I do this for fun. When people start telling you what you should and shouldn't do, I just think, well, I don't need to be told what I should and shouldn't do. I'm not really interested. You know what? I'm really trying to figure out how did I do this? I know I used an array modifier. Oh, I can make, but how did I get them to go down there? I really can't. I really can't remember. My brain is becoming befuddled, actually. Didn't realize that it was already 4:45. It's crazy. Yeah, exactly. You want to do everything with sub D, then fine. Wow, I really honestly can't remember how I did this. But I know what I am going to do. I'm going to do it this way. This is easy. Bottom of that's easy. I really need to create a ridge for these windows to go on. The bottom of that will be easy. Ricky, I am struggling to figure out how I did this. My brain is befuddled now because I've been working on that Pantheon's bike offline. So while he was streaming, and yeah, so I've been doing that for quite a number of hours. Okay, I'm gonna leave this. I'm gonna call it a day because my missus has come home. She's come home a little bit earlier today, and so I'm gonna save this. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. Let's append. Oh, okay. Do you stream Morning Stock? Do you stream? I don't know whether you stream, do you? Wow. Oh, crikey, what have I done now? No, okay, okay. I was just gonna say, lady doesn't approve of Blender. Why not? What's wrong with Blender? What's wrong with Blender? Let's append this. Oh no. So I haven't backed it up, so I need to go to here, here, here. Oh God, where did they put it? Of course, it's not going to find it, is it? It's a hidden file. I need to let me back it up. I wanna see whether I can bring in my compositing. Let's just go back to this. Let's just back that up because I know where I back it up to. I don't know. You stop modeling as she gets there. Oh no, you mean my lady? Oh no. Sorry, I thought you was talking about you. Sorry. No, she's all for me doing blending and streaming and stuff. It's just that I've been streaming for quite a long time today. Or not streaming, but I've been working on stuff for quite a long time, and I need to spend some time. Although she's probably cooking something for dinner now, because she's a chef, or she's a housekeeping, but she was also a chef for 20 something years, and it gets to a point if I'm on my computer and she's cooking, my stomach starts rumbling like crazy because she cooks amazing food. Really amazing food. Okay, that's backing up now. I want to see if this append works now. So append. No. I want to go here. No. Oh, I'm really a lot more tired than I think. Blender 4.3 config. No, that hasn't updated yet. Let's refresh that. Is this still backing up? No. Okay. Startup file. It is in no tree. Ah, there it is. Ah, okay. Now it's working. Now I know how to do it. Fantastic. Cool. Can't remember who gave me that video now, but thank you very much if you're still here. I don't know why I didn't even look at that for myself, but yeah, that's very useful. I thought you were able to do it. So then you can just go add group, and there's my group. Cool. Ta-da! Fantastic. Oh, that is awesome. That is awesome. Cool. Well, now I can bring that into all my old model, all of my old stuff like this. Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, it's 3 hours, and then I was working on Mr. Pantheon stuff since, when did I start that? About 10:30, 11-ish. So, you know, it's quite a long time I've been staring at a screen, getting on for 10 to 5. So I've been doing that for about 6 hours now. It's been quite a long time. Let's see if we can find somebody to raid. So thank you very much for being here, everyone. Really appreciate it. I don't know whether you know my situation. I'm now not going to be able to stream as much during the day, but I will be streaming in the evenings when I can and at weekends. So yeah, thank you very much for getting me where I am at the moment. It's been really good to get this after 4 years to get affiliate. So yeah, let's see if we can find someone to raid. It's very often, although this is a bit later now. Yeah, there's not many people seem to. If we look at Blender, that many people. League of Legends, no. See, there's no one streaming Blender. It's quite odd. Okay, let's see if we can find somebody art. Unless anyone who's already here just knows somebody that we can raid. God, everyone in art is playing games. Baldur's Gate, Fortnite. What? I don't think I've got anyone that I follow with art is currently online anyway. Let me have a look. No, not really. Well, there's one that I follow who's doing Marvelous Designer, but yeah. Okay. I could just try and pick a random person. I'll just pick a random person. Okay, we'll do him again. I don't really... All the people that I used to follow before that did art, they just don't stream anymore. They've all disappeared and they've all got jobs now, and you know, it's a shame. But anyway, we will not Bush, who does kind of figurines and models and bits of sculpting and real life sculpting, not Blender stuff. Find it quite fascinating. And he's nearly always streaming as well. He streams a lot. Okay, thank you very much, and I will see you as soon as I stream again, hopefully.